all. I welcome you all on today's occasion on the change of guard ceremony here at ICT Janla. Today's occasion will witness the celebration of the triumphant leap by one, while for the other, it will be embracing the present and the future with uninterrupted hopes and spirits in a new role. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Smita Lele would be superannuating on 31st December 2020 after her remarkable stint as a founder director of ICT Jamna, while Professor Uday Annapure would be embarking upon the adventurous role as the next director of ICT Janla from 1st January 2021. It feels great to have respected Pandit sir today with us and to see how his contagious vibrations of enthusiasm, unparalleled, astute, and persona has flooded the entire ICT MARJ atmosphere even during these adverse times. Before we kickstart today's event, let us all seek the abundant blessings of God Almighty. May I now request our respected Vice Chancellor, Professor A.B. Pandit, Director, Professor Smita Lele, and Designated Director, Professor Uday Annapure, and all the professors of the dais to please come forward and light the lamp. Call her. Thank you all. As we are about to begin, may I request you all to please rise for the Vidyapeeth Geet.
रसायन देविके श्री रसायन देविके रसायन देविके श्रीमंत तू कीर्ति रक्षिके जगन्मान्य तू महन मंगले अभियंता तंत्रज्ञानिके शत प्रणाम हो तुझराइके नव क्षितिजे नव चेतनादे रसायन देविके श्री रसायन देविके रसायन देविके
Thank you all. You may please be seated. May I now request our Deputy Director, Dr. Parag Nemade, to give a floral welcome to Vice Chancellor.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I now request our Associate Dean Industry, Shri Sharad Lahoti, to give floral welcome to Director Professor Smita Lele. And Director Designate Professor Uday Annapur. Thank you, sir. May I now invite Deputy Director ICT MARJ, Dr. Parag Nemade, to deliver the welcome address.
Hello everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have gathered here to witness a change of guard ceremony of at ICT Marathwada. It's a bittersweet day. On one hand, we have our esteemed and adored director, Professor Lele, who will be superannuating at the end of the year. While we have, on the other hand, esteemed Professor Annapure, who will be stepping in from 1st of January. Professor Lele has been with ICT Marathwada since the inception. Even before the campus was instituted, Madam was there as a registrar to accept the papers of the land, etc. And she has been instrumental. She has been with us ever since. She has been instrumental for, and it is her lots of contributions for successful running of this institution. She has run this institution successfully, smoothly, overcoming numerous adversities. We had lack of infrastructure, we had lack of faculty, we had, in general, there was nothing. If you had come before, like 2 weeks before the admission, 2 weeks before the start of institute in 2018, there was nothing really on the ground. But we had, we were able to run the institute, and it was because of her able leadership. We had numerous problems due to n number of things. We did not have internet. There were several other issues, but we were able to smooth them over because we always had a guiding light that we could look upon when we were in any sort of difficulty or any sort of hurdle that we were facing. During her tenure as director, Professor Lele had shown an amazing foresight to anticipate hurdles and to train the faculty and the staff to how to, and the wisdom, instill the wisdom in the faculty and the staff to overcome those hurdles. It is quite possible she could have told this is how you should do it and do it. She could have done it herself, but she also told how it is done to others, so that when the next leadership drum is created. And that has been one of the very important achievements of her tenure as a director. She has strived to force partnerships with lots of institutions all around in Jalna, around Jalna, outside Jalna, SGGS Nanded, Matsuyodari Samstha, lots of industries. Because one of the pillars of our this particular course is industry internships, and for which right in the fourth month we had to place 30 students, and that is a very difficult task when you are just new. You don't have, I mean, ICT has a lot of credibility, but ICT Marathwada is a very new institution, and that you need impetus for that to happen, and that was that we could accomplish it, not just for the second trimester, but throughout since, and that has been very important achievement. Sometimes there were we in the first time when there was no there was the induction was supposed to be carried out, but we did not have any facilities. We impromptu developed a program, arranged lots of implant trainings, industry visits. We arranged a visit to Mumbai for carrying out their psychological profile as well as psychological counseling, etc. And that induction program was very well appreciated by the students. These sort of things, out of the box thinking, was very prevalent in decisions that Professor Lele took during her tenure as a director. And we are all very rich because of that. Setting up pep talks, etc., granting students and faculty valuable exposure because of industry visits has been one of the very important decisions, very important hallmarks. There were few faculty who had not had any industry exposure before, and it was very useful for them to understand how the industry works, how industry thinks, and that has grown considerably now. She has been with us just like a mother, and she has been affectionate, while also has been vigilant to pull up the errand runs. And we would truly miss the guiding light of Professor Lele as a director. But I definitely hope that she would remain associated with us until she retires. We would be very happy to always be associated. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Leadership is about making others better as a result of your presence and making sure the impact lasts in your absence. His passion to set benchmarking standards in the field of education and research is unparalleled. Ladies and gentlemen, let me invite on stage our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor A.B. Pandey, to deliver the inaugural address and share a few words of wisdom with the gathering.
Thank you. Good afternoon to you all. Let me remove this. Chief guest, Padma Bhushan, Professor J.B. Joshi. Director, Professor Smita Lele. Director Designate, Professor Uday Annapure. Dean AP, Professor Sunil Bhagwat. Registrar, Professor R. Deshmukh. UA President Shri Dilip Udas, all the faculty and the students and the staff who have gathered here to witness this, as Parag correctly pointed out, sweet and bitter ceremony. When Parag described Professor Smita Lele's contribution in setting up ICT Jalna Bhubaneswar, ICT Jalna Marathwada campus, one word describes it, and that he did mention, she ran it with the motherly instincts like a head of a family. As correctly pointed out again by Professor Nemade, encouragement when needed, solutions when required, problems to be solved, few words of wisdom when needed, few words of caution when needed, and a right balance of all. She can be credited for establishing the systems in ICT Jalna. Establishing systems is extremely difficult. Now I expect the director designate to consolidate those systems. What is required is a proper guidance. A new person always has some new ideas, but with the background knowledge of Professor Smita Lele is going to be extremely valuable for Professor Annapurna to implement these new ideas. And for that, I'm happy to tell you all that Professor Smita Lele will continue as a Professor Emeritus and will stay here for at least next 2 years. So she is going to be available to you all as a Professor Emeritus in ICT Jalna campus. Also available to Professor Annapurna to find groups based on what new schemes which he wants to implement. Few other things which I would like to tell you. This is probably my 4th visit to ICT Jalna campus. I have come here, seen the land, seen this building, had seen the building opposite where labs and classrooms are now getting established, and few more will get added to it. I'm sure ICT Jalna is shaping up very well under the able leadership of Dr. Professor Smita Lele, and I'm sure her guidance will continue to take whatever the vision which we have for ICT Jalna. All the support which ICT Mumbai can give will definitely be available all the time. I am also equally available to any one of you if you want to talk to me, send me an email, put a point across, complain about the director, about the faculty, feel absolutely free. It's a complete democracy in ICT, but you should be, I don't like anonymous emails. You should have a courage to say that I am such a person and this is the problem which I see. The problem definitely will be solved. Few of the new initiatives which we are planning to introduce, probably today or tomorrow, ICT Jalna internet bandwidth will be increased from 50 Mbps to 100 Mbps. The orders have already been gone. So we realize the need for such a thing, especially during the COVID time when everything is happening online. And to a certain extent, this will continue to happen online. The time which is wasted in the physical visits can be completely avoided, but at the same time, physical visits are also necessary sometimes, but the periodicity of that particular visit is definitely going to reduce, and it is in a way good because it is equivalent to giving a sort of an autonomy to a new place. Let them run systems on their own. Let them handle systems on their own. We are there to support you. Right? Whenever needed, all the might of ICT Mumbai is available to you. So feel absolutely free. Do not distinguish yourself as a Upa Kendra. I'm expecting in few years' time, ICT Jalna will also teach a thing or two to ICT Mumbai. Welcome to Professor Uday Annapure, and in a way, it is good, and I would say that it is a continuation of what the basic expertise which Professor Lele brought in. She is a chemical engineer converted into food scientist and practiced food science, engineering, and technology. Professor Annapure is a trained food chemist and food technologist. So I'm sure the initiatives which are started by Professor Smita Lele, Professor Annapure will of course take it to a next new level. I don't want to give you a long lecture, but I'm here and very, very happy that we are able to attain this continuation and sustain in spite of numerous difficulties which were faced by you. I, on my part, apologize to you I know the kind of problems with the water which you all people faced, not last year, but year before that. The kind of issues which were felt in terms of hostel, in terms of laboratory space, in terms of connectivity. All these problems are going to get solved in this coming year. And I'm sure ICT campus, ICT Jalna campus, where a new batch is likely to be admitted before the end of this year. And the third batch will start a course from 3rd of January as declared by Department of Technical Education, Director of Technical Education. We are also talking to few of the building owners for getting an additional hostel, and I'm sure in about a week's time that these talks also will fructify, and we will have a dedicated building as a hostel so that we don't face any problems. Similarly, the transport related to bus also will be taken care of, and we don't plan to differentiate and distinguish ICT Jalna students as anybody else but ICT student. That's all I want to say, and I would welcome and wish Professor Annapure a spectacular innings joining from 1st of January 2021. Thank you very much for all of you coming here. Thank you.
On behalf of the entire ICT MARJ family, I wish to express my gratitude for paying a visit here. Sir, your towering presence is always inspiring. Your reassuring words were stress-busting, and your constant support is highly motivating. Thank you, sir, once again. I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the water to create many ripples. May I invite our current director, Professor Smita Lele, to express her thoughts on this occasion.
I'm going to start by expressing my respect to our Chancellor, Padma Vibhushan, Dr. Mashelkar, our Mahaguru, Padma Vibhushan, Professor M.M. Sharma, my Guru and today's chief guest, Padma Bhushan, Professor J.B. Joshi, our beloved Vice Chancellor, Professor Pandey, Director Designate, Professor Uday Annapure, Deputy Director, Dr. Parag Nemade, board members, alumni, well-wishers, some of the industry people who are here, my colleagues from ICT Mumbai, ICT Jalna, my beloved current and past students, and many, many more people which I cannot really address at this point of time. I feel very, very humble and thank the Almighty for giving me a chance to be part of ICT, earlier UDCT, UICT, over past 5 decades. As a student, a teacher, researcher, administrator, and leader. Various roles and responsibilities give me an opportunity to evolve and be what I am today. While most of you know me, I would like to take a minute to tell you about Smita in a nutshell. My association with ICT has been more than 50 years old, but my excitement remains as fresh as a 12 years old Smita, a school student who entered ICT labs because my maternal auntie, late Dr. Kusum Arjungi, was doing her PhD those days. This excitement has turned over commitment, and ICT is my dharma. And I would like to describe my roles as 4 Devi avatars: Saraswati, I was lucky to have consistent, outstanding academic career and university rank holder. Lakshmi, unlike most academicians, I started my career in industry. In fact, I was the first woman engineer to join Hindustan Lever way back in 1977. It was through campus interview and thanks to our Mahaguru, Professor Sharma, his efforts to make Unilever change their policy to take girl engineers. So, unlike most academicians, I really understood the importance of vitamin M in life, and I have tried to use it while being while being in academics. Well, Annapurna, Annavastra Nivara. So we can live with anything, but not without Anna. And unless we process and preserve, we will not have food security in years to come. So as a food scientist and as a woman, I have committed myself to more from less. Using books, articles, videos, I have educated and influenced several thousand housewives. In fact, today my last 26th article appeared in Chaturang Lok Satta, which has tried the whole year, which revolves around food, health, and well-beingness. And thanks to internet, I could increase my circle to many thousands because a YouTube channel, Dr. Smita Lele, a free channel, has been started. I have more than few thousand subscribers, and I've been putting things like Annapurna during this period of pandemic to help people to stay healthy through food and through mindset. Durga, that's also my favorite group of Devi. Whenever required as a control of examiner, maybe the first punishment was in my tenure only. As a registrar also, I tried to discipline. My son said on my 60th birthday, Aila Sagyana Shista Lavala Avarte. I had just become registrar then. So I think I tried to make systems and they are now taken to higher level through Pandit sir's effort, and Uday will also add to that. And I have never succumbed under any political, social fear and other things. I want to tell this to young students who always think that unless they compromise moral, they cannot succeed. I don't think any one of us had that experience, Dr. Pandey.
No.
You agree? In fact, in long term, it's always better to stand by the truth. What you think from your heart is the right thing to do. You will never get punished for that. This slide is also very close to my heart. Being a senior and multifaceted personality, I was really lucky to be first at many things. Maybe I was I'm a little bit attracted to the word first right from childhood. I was very happy to come first in everything. And God gave me many such opportunities. In fact, as a IPT, me and my classmate Anjana, we were the first women to step on those 200 acres of Burma Shell land, now BPCL. Again, because of the efforts of Professor Sharma, because it became Bharat Refineries that time. So 100% male-oriented institute, we were the women. And then, of course, I was told during the NAC meeting, the chairman told me out of 750 universities, state universities in the country, he has never seen a woman registrar. So maybe as a registrar, maybe as a director, founder, director. So whatever it is, I mean, I feel very good. And it was a pleasant surprise to me that I could really become the first director and take part in building this great institute, which is already great, but I could give my own share, Harizavata. I really want to mention year 2000 was a golden change in my life, I would say Midas touch. And my guru, Professor J.B. Joshi, took over as a director. And he made many single person committees. And one of them was website, annual report. And many of you may not know that the first website was called udct.org because we were not full-fledged university. And I got it designed through outside students. And I want to publicly thank my husband, Satish Lele, who is here. Sir, Joshi sir will remember, he was maintaining it honorary for 5 years. And every week he was updating it. And it was a lot of fun. In fact, Joshi sir made me in charge of PR and image building for ICT because long time UDCT was known as a Dagri college and things like that. So also I could apply on behalf of UICT then to IMC Bajaj. And it was like a crash MBA course for me. So we made, Joshi sir and me sitting together, we made our first vision mission statement because I had to write in that application. Then we made it during TechWeapon, you will remember. And this experience was so helpful to me when we tried to make mission statement for MARJ, this campus. Then many such responsibilities and coordinatorship and all. I think those 15, 20 years really gave me a chance. And I think somewhere I believe in Forka Funda. So every 4 years, I like a new responsibility. It's a challenge. It's a lot of learning. Second year is innovation. Third year, you try to have additional skill. And fourth year, you try to prepare yourself for next thing. And arithmetic follows this because when I counted, I had more than 9 offices in UDCT main building itself. So in 30 years, if I have to play a role, say every 4 years, I need to have a different office to play a different role. And finally, this last thing, what came to me was like a cherry on the cake. Now, in between, one more thing also happened. 2005, Joshi sir sent me to Singapore to ABET, which is Accreditation Board of Engineering and Technology. And the first NAC application, I think Pandit sir will remember, we had written it together for UICT, where the recommendation was make it separate and deemed. And with long efforts, we have come here because of this separation from alma mater, University of Mumbai, which is we are all proud of because we are their student, but somewhere we want to grow. And that's what has happened in last 10 years from 2008 onwards. And so I have very special memories of those time of IMC Bajaj, where we tried to make this fountain of technology, and the raw material student is getting evolved through multiple colors, and like a bubble, it is growing, and you have a complete professional and byproducts like patents, technologies. So it is very easy. It was very easy for me to come here and really practice all those things which I have been learning there over last 30 years or so. So this is about our beloved ICT, Temple of Knowledge, and different interpretations of the 4 pillars are very popular. Since my studentship, I'm hearing that. Here I've tried to say, we are always saying the first pillar is students. Students, if you are not there, we are not required. So students who are so much academically excellent and innovation. In fact, I remember Sharma sir used to sometimes jokingly say, our students do so well in spite of teachers. So the point is, our students are really good, gifted, dedicated. We have an excellent faculty everywhere. That's ICT culture, who have very good, not only research academics, but industry connect. We have committed support staff. I really appreciate that. All of us have got degree from University of Mumbai or UDCT, ICT. We have to love our mother. But our support staff is not graduate of this institute, but they are no less than all of us when it comes to love to UDCT, UICT, ICT. That's the culture. And they are also one strong pillar. And of course, alumni, some of them are sitting here. And alumni and industry, that's our 4th stand. And that's why we have got a very stable structure. 2, you cannot have a structure. 3 is minimum, but 4 is really a stable culture of research innovation. And that's our beloved ICT. Now, all this, what happened in 48 years or 45 years or 35 years of my career, I got equal number of experience fast forward in the last 30 months, which I have spent here in ICT Jalna. It just came to me quite unexpectedly. And when it is a coincidence that in 2018 as a registrar, I came here for the first time in my life to Jalna to take the land papers. And I remember Ashish Mantri, who is sitting here, he told me, Madam, Jalna is not equal to Aurangabad. Sitting in Mumbai, I used to think it is equal. He said, even your temporary campus has to be in Jalna. Because if we see way back 1933, when UDCT was formed, we were on the Royal Institute of Science. In 1943, we came to our Matula campus. So we didn't wait for the building to be ready. So the history repeated. We are born with the desire of industry, and we have started in 2018 our first IM Tech admission. But where is the building? So I remember I had gone to Mahiko. I met senior Barwale, then he was alive that time, and he brought me here in Biju Seetal, and I never knew that the office which I met Sri Suresh Agarwalji, I'm going to use one day. So it's just a great coincidence for me, and I again want to thank Professor G.D. Yadav, who showed so much trust in me, because it was a total surprise. I never thought at the age of 63 now I'm going to leave Mumbai and go to some other place. But I think being in microbiology, my students are sitting here, the culture, inoculation, Dayatha vision is very, very important.
Absolutely.
And that's what I think I also felt that I must come here. In fact, my daughter-in-law, I call her Dil, was the only person who didn't like it. He said, there are so many people in UDCT. Don't you think Yadav sir can look at someone else? I said, of course. But let me go there and put the right jamun or culture there. Let me give my small share for 2-3 years, and then it will grow into a big banyan tree. And so I'm going to take few minutes, although all of you know what we are doing here in such a short span. I have to take pride in it because I've experienced it. So I'm quickly going to run through this. Some of these slides we have shared under different occasions. So we fondly call this ICT MARJ campus as MARJ. And all of you know that we started, our foundation is 4th May 2018 in the hands of then CM Fadnavis. We were lucky even to have visits of several other dignitaries in a short span. We are sitting here today, and this is our vision mission statement, which all of us together, the industry people, the ICT deans, vice chancellors, and people around tried to see that we just don't want to work only for the whole world, but because we are in this Marathwada, we also want to give a special statement, the last mission statement, that we want to uplift this area in terms of entrepreneurship. So the slogan what ICT said, don't be a job seeker, be a job giver. And so I'm looking at many more startups, and now I think the conditions are also for making India and all are very, very conducive for that. And I think we are going to see many startups. Our students may start something before even they finish that. Now this, I would say all of us together, I must mention thanks to dear Parag Nemade. He has really helped us. He was like, I would say Uzwa and Dava, I will call him both my arms for that matter. And he helped me to set so many things, such a wonderful person. And we have tried to make an autocatalytic circular growth. So everybody is part of it. And all the ICT culture we bring here. And many of my teachers are not from ICT, which is a very good thing. So we are blending the cultures from other universities also. And well, so many things we have done in short span. Even we did a skill development also. Now these numbers are old because it is picture, I could not do it. So I didn't try to put any proper numbers. But see, these are the measurable outputs. I got some notes because just 12 teachers, but they are so active that even Corona has not stopped them. So every day when I try to get number, I see one more paper or a patent and all. So this is something which we have got. Just left side is during lockdown, 18 papers have come out with ICT Jalna as affiliation. Only 12 teachers. 2 patents have come, 2 new consultancies, 32 tech talks. And I mean, so many things you can read. And so you will see that our people are just working so hard. I have to now tell them that, okay, wait and take a deep breath and start again all over new from 1st Jan, because you are going to have one more big do list from the incoming director. So don't think that things have changed. It's going to become even much bigger. And we had so many celebrations. We really enjoyed, and my youngsters are getting all awards. Joyita is not here. She got award in the hands of President of India for writing essay. We have here Dr. Joshi has become fellow, and a student, we call them Tara. They really shine like Tara. Tutors, teaching assistants from research associates. Our Taras are shining like real Taras, and they have already started getting acknowledgement in their seminars and everything. Now all the details are given in the newsletter, which we put on the website. We call it Margajal, and the punchline is streamlining minds, because we are primarily all chemical engineers, and we like to minimize the friction.
Turbulence.
Minimize the turbulence. Okay, because I am here in front of Pandey sir, so I should not talk about that word. And so I think I feel very, very happy and satisfied, and I'm doubly happy that Pandit sir found me worthy to give me a letter saying I will be here as a emeritus professor for 2 more years. Sir, I am really feeling touched, and thank you very much to the entire ICT UDCT. And I put here some of my awards and even the Chapati book, and it's all because of ICT, my teachers, my students, and all of you. A big, very, very thank you, and my very best wishes to Uday Annapure, who is also my own student, my colleague, and my friend. Welcome, Uday. I'm so thank you and congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for putting your heart and soul in molding and contributing to the growth of ICT in March in this very short span of 2.5 years. We look forward to your guidance and support in the coming times as well. May I now invite our Director Designate, Professor Uday Annapure, to share his views on this occasion.
Dr. R.A. Mashelkar, Vice Chancellor, ICT, Professor A.B. Pandey, Chancellor, ICT, Professor Dr. R.A. Mashelkar, Professor A.B. Pandey, Vice Chancellor, ICT, Chief guest for today's program, Professor Padma Bhushan J.B. Joshi, sir, Professor Smita Lele, Director, ICT Marathwada Campus, Jalna, Dr. Nimale, Deputy Director, ICT Marathwada Campus, Jalna, faculty members, support staff, alumni, and well-wishers of it. Good evening to all. First of all, it was a great pleasure for me, and I am thankful to our Vice Chancellor, Professor A.P. Pandey, and Board of Governors of ICT for showing the faith in me and appointing me as a Director, ICT Marathwada Campus, Jalna. It has been long back. My association with ICT, then Udicity, was started in 1994 as a postgraduate student in the Department of Food Engineering Technology. Professor Smita Lele was my teacher. She taught me during my MTech, and she was not only teacher, but she was a guide for me always. And today, actually, taking over this charge from her is like an just handing over the baton to the new generation. She is my teacher, she is my guide, and I will be taking over from her, and I am her student. So I'm really proud for this moment to taking the baton from her and taking it ahead. Definitely with all the support of faculty members of ICT Mumbai, faculty members of ICT Marathwada Campus, Jalna, support staff and students, well-wishers, and our alumni in and around the Aurangabad and Jalna. As the ma'am has already done a lot of groundwork here to establish this institution, and it is definitely it is at par the ICT Mumbai, as Professor Pandit Vice Chancellor has expressed his vision that there should not be any difference between ICT Mumbai and ICT Jalna or ICT Bhubaneswar campus. all are equal for us. And definitely, I assure that whatever the culture has been started, whatever the culture has been inculcated by Professor Lele in this campus will be definitely continued and definitely with the guidance, because I'm happy to know that she will be here for 2 more years with us, and it is really an encouraging for me also, so that I can get her guidance time to time to take the steps ahead. Definitely, we want to develop this campus as early as possible, but definitely it will take some time depending on the different constraints, whichever are there, that is administrative things are there. So definitely we must overcome all those things with the help of Vice Chancellor, uh, as well as the Government of Maharashtra and our alumni and well-wishers of the ICT. Definitely, it will be taken ahead at a big way with help of all these things. So once again, I'm thankful for this opportunity, because as said, the ICT is a temple and we want to worship our temple always, to worship our God. And I am very happy that I have got this opportunity to work here in the Jalna, where actually Marathwada is my native, and I have born and brought up in Marathwada only. Till I joined the ICT in 1994, I was in Marathwada only since my birth. So I am well aware of the places, situations in the Marathwada, and it is actually a very proud moment for me that I can do something for my own area, and I can develop the ICT here. I can give my little bit contribution to develop the ICT in my own area, that is Marathwada. With this, I assure that I will definitely do the needful with regular consensus with the Vice Chancellor and other authorities in the institute, along with faculty members, support staff, and students of ICT Marathwada Jalna campus. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your motivating words. We are sure that ICT Jalna would reach to even greater heights under your able guidance. May I request Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Pandey to felicitate Professor Smita Lele and Sri Satish Lele in a traditional way by offering shawl and shrikhand.
आता मास्क काढा ना. सगळ्या फोटो काढायचं तो मास्क काढा. मास्क काढा. डर बसतात.
A pleasure. On a lighter note, every lady of the house like to test the recipes on the family. And Professor Smita Lele has exactly done that on all of you. She has tested a recipe of success for Jalna campus in the past 2.5 years. It has been pretty successful. Thank you, Satish, for your contribution. Thanks a lot. As they always say, behind a successful man, there is always a successful woman or a nagging woman. In this case, the role is reversed.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
I also request Honorable Vice Chancellor to present a memento to Professor Smita Lele for her selfless contribution to the growth of ICT Jalna.
सरांचं भाषण आहे ना.
May I now request Honorable Vice Chancellor once again Professor Pandit sir to felicitate Director Designate Professor Uday Annapure and Mrs. Annapure in a traditional way by offering shawl and shrikhand.
आणि
Big responsibility on you.
आणि
Thank you, sir. So moving ahead, we have directly tuning with us the chief guest on today's occasion, Padma Bhushan Professor J.B. Joshi, sir. Over the years, he has been a remarkable leader who has known the way, followed the way, and has always shown the
घरी
way.
जाऊन बस सरांचं भाषण आहे.
It's a privilege for all of us to welcome Padma Bhushan. It's a privilege to welcome Padma Bhushan Professor J.B. Joshi, and I now invite him to enlighten us on today's eve. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm missing such a great occasion. Vice Chancellor Professor A.B. Pandit, Director Professor Smita Lele, Director Designate Professor Uday Annapure, Deputy Director Professor Parag Bokte, Dean Professor Bhagwat, UAA President Dr. Udhas, other faculty, non-teaching faculty, and dear students. First of all, let me offer my huge compliments to Professor Smita Lele. I have been knowing what is that she has been doing. She has done a job of planting a seed, having properties in such a way that the fruits will be the same as those at main campus. We know that those who learn mathematics, the solution of differential equation depends upon the initial condition. When we give different initial conditions, we get different answers. And she has provided the right initial conditions, and the next curve will be definitely the way in which we want it to be. It's a new campus. Whenever there is a new birth, the first requirement is feeding, and it was appropriate that Professor Smita Lele was the first director. Now just 30 months have happened, and additional food is required, and therefore Professor of Food Technology will be continuing in the form of Professor Uday Annapure. My best wishes to him. I know very well, when I was director, he took many responsibilities, particularly admissions, and he did that particular job so well. I was extremely happy with him, and I'm sure he will use all his strengths for taking the cause of ICT further at Jalna. Professor Smita briefly mentioned what is our gene, what is the gene of ICT, which she has already planted. Let me begin with a recent news. The Stanford University has published a list of top 2% researchers in the world. And in the field of chemical engineering, ICT has produced 8 such scientists among top 2%. Among that, there are 2 in top 1.1%. So that is the performance as far as research is concerned. We know that IITs in terms of area, in terms of faculty, in terms of the funding, it's several times more. In terms of faculty, it is 5 times more. In terms of area, it is 25 times more. In terms of funding, it is 20 times more. But the next best institute, as far as those renowned scientists in among 2% is concerned, they have produced 4 scientists as against 8 scientists. As you are already aware, the Summerfield report from Georgia Institute of Technology, Professor Summerfield has been ranking the chemical engineering and technology branches throughout the world. And our number has been the last 20-25 years, right since he started bringing out the report, we are number one in the country. Why I'm telling this is I want to explain what is the meaning of gene of ICT and what is that is being taken forward. So that was in terms of the publications, in terms of citations, that number was always 1. As far as the research activities are concerned, we have developed lot of strength. Actually, the MIT head of the chemical engineering department, he personally told me that we get students from all over the world, but the students coming from ICT are the best, particularly from the design point of view. They are really very good. So that is mainly because we do research, teaching, industrial activity together. While we are undertaking industrial activity or while we move in the society, we get a lot of problems. That is, those are real problems. Typically, there are 2 types of scientists. One type of scientists, they solve the problems which can be solved and published. And there are other type of scientists, they solve the problem which need to be solved. And one of the characteristics of ICT is we have been solving the problems of the industry and society which they need to be solved. Little bit history, that is ICT was founded because of the desire and help of industry. You see the main campus, which is 140,000 square feet. It was built in 25 lakh rupees in the year 41-42. Now this sum looks like small, but all this money was raised by the textile industry then. 7 faculty positions were created, endowed faculty positions. They are still existing today. And the infrastructure required for experimentation, that was also provided by industry. So the connection with the industry started from the beginning. The history also tells that the first PhD in India in the area of engineering and technology was from ICT. And before the second PhD was graduated from BHU, 7 PhDs had already graduated from ICT. And then the next institute was Institute of Science, where the engineering PhD was graduated. So when the institute started in 1933, PhD program started exactly in the same year. And it continued, it grown, it further grew. And now we are graduating more than 100 PhDs per year. More remarkable was now we consider entrepreneurial center or scale-up center or idea center, and it is being established, innovation center. These are being established at different universities. But under the leadership of Professor Tilak, it was established in 1944, mainly in the areas of intermediates and colorants. And please note that the present colorant industry, which is of the order of 25,000 crores, all the either owners or the supporting engineers or the DICE technology graduates, in practically all the cases are from ICT. Consider the oil industry in late 40s, early 50s, there was a, in terms of edible oil, there was a huge shortage. And Professor J.J. Kane, he developed processes for making soaps and other oleochemicals from oils using non-edible oils. And because of this, the processing, the collection and non-edible oils, it is written in Maharashtra state government's gazette that 6 lakh new employments were generated in late 40s. There, when we had first atomic explosion in Rajasthan, India was classified, and we were denied several technologies. We were wanting laser dye for a variety of purposes, and first of all, 1 gram was synthesized in the dyes department, and it met all the characteristic features of the imported laser dye. So the student who made this, he wanted my appointment. And when he asked for an appointment, I knew that what is the reason for which he is coming to me. And I had ready answer also for him because I knew what was his question. He said that I have prepared successfully this laser dye. Can I start up my industry on the basis of this? Actually, before asking the question, I wanted to say yes, but I said yes after the question, that yes, and whatever help you want in any terms, you will be given help. In fact, you will be happy to know that approximately 30% students from every class, they start their own industry. From my class, we graduated 52 and 35 are industrialists. And 2 were academicians and remaining were in industry. So I'm talking about the characteristic features of ICT. So the laser dye, the cost of the laser dye at that time was 2 crores per kilogram, and total requirement of nation was 20 kilograms. And that entire quantity was synthesized and there was no import needed. Now we have done this in plenty now. There are recent examples of carbon nanotubes and graphenes and bulletproof jackets and all kinds of machineries which are required in industry, and these are being exported. Normally, we consider that German product, the precision wise also it is very good and look wise also good. But one product that we made, we exported to Germany, ICT, uh, exported to Germany, and German company had to close down because this product was much better in performance and economically much more attractive. My dear students, I'm telling these stories mainly because you have proven examples in front of you so that you should think in that direction. Professor Smita told us about the mission and vision of ICT campus, and principal vision is uh, to make entrepreneurs, to grow entrepreneurs in that area. I can confidently tell you that this is very much possible. What we should be doing is whenever there is a holiday, we have 2 weeks holidays, Diwali vacation is there, but at least 60 days holidays are there in summer vacation. Spend some time in either local industry or whatever industry you feel you need to get connected. We have a lot of connections, and spend a lot of time there and keep on first of all observing very carefully how the people are talking, what are the desires of industry, what is the language that they are talking, what is the language that we normally talk in the university. And but further experience and friendship with the people in industry, you can keep on giving suggestions. And as a fresher, I'm sure nobody is going to implement your suggestions, and keep on doing first year, second year, third year. And the patience and perseverance is another quality of ICT. Even if it is not done, some occasion happens in due course of time where the solution of that particular problem is required and the suggestion gets recollected and implemented. And when that successfully gets implemented, the faith and trust in that particular person's begins. And then there is no stopping after that. Then one problem solved, two problems solved, and you keep on getting the continuous number of problems which can be solved in industry, or they can form the problems for research. So in this manner, what happens, this is really the right balance that we ICTians talk about. Bring problems from industry. In addition to industry, you can visit the various parts of the Aurangabad. And I'm confident when I visited the coastal area of Maharashtra, the eastern part of Maharashtra, that is the Chandrapur and Bhandara, these are the poorest, and Nandurbar is northernmost. And I took all my PhD students, 20, 25 in number. We mixed with them, local people, we danced with the local people, but our agenda was to understand their difficulties and solve their difficulties. And from there, we got so many problems. And I'll tell you, by solving these problems, our Honorable Prime Minister has already declared, and he has a desire for doubling per capita income. And we definitely have huge number of opportunities lying in these villages where we can do a lot of value addition and improve the economy and job opportunities. Even much more important to me as a teacher is we will graduate students who become capable as problem solvers rather than what Smita said, the job seekers. So we get a lot of problems from society. We should not call them as problems because these are opportunities. Huge wealth can be created from this. And these opportunities become the problems for research, and whatever we learn from research, we try to remain at the frontier. Let it be food technology or pharmaceutical technology or chemical engineering, but in that particular area, whether your area is reactor design, or it may be in the areas of separations or crystallization, the your publications appear in topmost journal. So you do good research, you solve the real problems, and whatever experience you get by moving in industry and society and by doing research, um, explain that experience to the students in the class. Now this is what, and then the difficulties of students, those are also to be solved through continuous reading and updating the knowledge. So the right balance of research, the industry and society and classroom um, is the gene of ICT, and that we need to establish. I'm sure it has been already established, and it is to be furthered. In terms of teaching, research, and industrial practice, your current leader, Professor Pandit, in terms of citations, that is the indicator of research, he's number one in the institute. And he has been elected as the best teacher for more than 16 times year after year. So the practicing person in terms of industry, and he has solved so many problems related to water and health. Same thing is with Professor Smita Lele. She solved plenty problems and spread the knowledge in the society. But one example I must point out, which is of huge value, during her own PhD program, she converted the carbohydrates, that is distillery waste, or any biomass is a carbohydrate, and in presence of water suspension, converted either into solid coal or at high temperature and catalyst in the form of the crude oil. Now, these two technologies are being considered right now as frontier technologies. Now, she did work in 1986, 44 years ago. Is that right? 34 years ago, 34 years ago. And that is becoming, and I'm aware that she teaches well. Actually, the speaking on a platform, big platforms, or teaching in the class is her forte. So teaching is no problem. So you have brilliant examples in front of you. I'm sure Professor Uday, I had a lot of opportunity to interact with him, and I'm confident that he will also be placed in a similar category. I was telling you about the history and the scale of facilities in ICT. In fact, there has been a separate building on pilot plant. The activity of process intensification, whenever factory is established, perhaps the technology then is new and recent. But when the years go by, 5 years and 10 years and 15 years, new and newer technologies, they come in. And when we implement these technologies, either profitability or selectivity or reduction of pollution or enhancement of safety, any one of these qualities can be nicely incorporated in an operating plant. The point is, because of this, the profitability of that industry improves. Actually, I speak from public platform that I guarantee, let be any industry, because of the involvement of ICT, we will increase your profit by 30%. The only requirement is we should not have visited before in your plant If you are visiting for the first time, then I guarantee that your profitability will improve by 30%. And this has been initiated and nurtured by Professor Sharma right from mid 60s, and large number of inorganic and organic chemical industry got benefited because of that. So on one side, the third part is I talked about research. Of course, I gave only glimpses of research, the glimpses of service to the society. The ICT has developed the technology for the first time for bulletproof jackets. Now, the current price, the imported price is 1.5 lakh rupees per jacket. And we need to import every year about 6 lakh jackets. Now, the technology has been developed for carbon nanotubes and a composite of a polymer and carbon nanotubes gives the property. The first 5 jackets were stitched by the research students themselves. And then these jackets were sent to all kinds of defense laboratories, the police related establishments, and all of them were passed in terms of all kinds of tests. The bullet of this size, bullet of that size, and it was done. Technology for composite was required. That was also developed. Now, when this was told to Honorable Prime Minister that we have developed this technology, he immediately said that how many bulletproof jackets we are importing in India. And that number was known to everybody. It was about 20,000 crores. The price per jacket was 1.5 lakh rupees. And we were buying those many jackets. When the carbon nanotubes were manufactured at some scale, first of all on laboratory scale, then it was scaled up to 500 grams, and then it was scaled up to 2 kilograms. And with the help of a composite of a polymer that is high molecular weight polyethylene and carbon nanotubes, it gave the property of bulletproof. Bullet cannot penetrate this particular composite. The cost initially, the imported price was 1,50,000. The price, the first 10 jackets, the price was 50,000. And at the manufacturing level, it was brought down to 15,000 rupees. And with 15,000, you can imagine we were importing bulletproof jackets worth 20,000 crores. Saving the money is very simple. That is, according to me, that is a simple part of the technology. But developing a technology which you don't have and on which you are dependent on the other nations, that is risky. If, say, for example, we are faced with a difficult situation of a war and our constables, they don't have the bulletproof jacket, and see, imagine the situation. So this is a necessity, and therefore such technologies are very, very important. What is the cost of production? $50,000, and we need to import worth 20,000 crores. Now these, whatever contributions that ICT has been making, it is of these orders of magnitude. I can give you many examples. As a result, what happens, since we do research which is useful to the society, the technology I mentioned to you earlier, perhaps, or let me mention it again, from every class, right from my class of 1971, or even before that, 1962, approximately 30% students, they start their own industry. In this particular case, the income of ICT was 10 times the government grant. And this was mainly because of consultation. I gave you one example. The imported bulletproof jacket was 1,50,000. We made the jacket in 15,000 rupees. And therefore, there is no need to import. And we started making bulletproof jackets in India. And similar examples, similar success stories were executed in a variety of cases. So it is not only saving. Now imagine the situation if we are denied that we will not sell you bulletproof jackets, then see the plight that our defense people will have at the frontier. So such technologies we are developing is very important and is crucial. Similarly, we have developed technologies in the areas of water under the guidance of Professor Pandey. Many technologies in the area of energy, as well as food and nutrition. And Professor Smita Lele has given wide coverage in the print media, and she has developed many technologies. So what I'm trying to tell you, and my young generation teachers as well as students, this is the you can say the basic theme of ICT anywhere. Let it be anywhere, a nice balance between teaching, between research, the quality publications, and development of technologies for the cause of society. This right balance, because of this right balance, we are considered different and useful to the nation. Now, in terms of these technologies, what is really required is the visits to the industry. I'm sure this is happening at all our campuses, and spending good amount of time, maybe 1 month, 2 months in vacation period, and observe what the industry people are doing. And I'm sure this is being implemented at Jalna campus as well. The other quality we ICTians have, and which we'll definitely continue to have, is we are normally humble. We don't publicize much. It has advantages and disadvantages, but remaining humble, according to me, has a lot of advantages, because the relationship that you develop once, you need not try to maintain by smartness the same relationship for 20 years, 25 years. There are industry faculty relationships which have been there for 50 years, 40 years without any break. Now, this is another quality which I consider, that lot of knowledge, but humble in nature. So that is yet another quality. So a right balance between teaching. I must tell you that out of all the qualities, that is the technology development or service to the society, developing new technologies, I personally consider that teaching is most important. And I'm proud to say I'm very close to faculty at ICT right now. I continue to teach, but I can proudly say that is, as far as teaching is concerned, this is the best faculty that we can ever have. And that is the first quality that any campus, and I'm sure all our campuses will imbibe this quality. I take this opportunity to wish, I have already visited once, but I wish the Jalna campus and Professor Uday Annapure and all his colleagues and students all the very best. And we all, those who have retired, they will be available to you whenever needed. You, all of you people you are individually capable, no doubt about it. And I take this opportunity to wish the campus all the very best. And your future is very bright and strong. And God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful address and for being a guiding light to all of us. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have with us Shri Suresh Ji Agarwal, Chairman B. Sheetal, Dr. Kunjge, who is a Director B. Sheetal, and Mr. Ashish Mantri with us. So, we welcome you all once again. So, Mr. Sunil Raithatta and Mr. Ashish Mantri, who are the members of the local advisory committee. So they, on behalf of the local industries of Jalna, would like to felicitate Professor Smita Lele, our outgoing director, and Professor Uday Annapure, the incoming director. So may I request you all come ahead and thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. So may I now invite our Deputy Director, Dr. Parag Nemade, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening. It is my honor to give a vote of thanks for this August gathering. First and foremost, I would like to thank Padma Bhushan, Professor J.B. Doshi, for his words of wisdom, especially on eliciting the challenges and opportunities that are available throughout the society, and for explaining the genes of ICT with regards to the balance of teaching, research, as well as development of technology. We are truly proud to be associated with ICT in various capacities. Secondly, I would like to thank Professor Pandey, our Vice Chancellor, for supporting us throughout the way and for giving us wide autonomy as well as infrastructure upgrades, and for his unqualified support in general for our institution. For any challenges that we face, he has been always helping, and we would like to thank him for addressing us as well. We'd like to thank Professor Lele for sharing her journey on 4 decades with ICT, and particularly about last 2.5 years with ICT Marathwada. Madam, you have truly been a very good teacher as well as a very guiding light for us. We also like to thank Professor Annapure, and we like to welcome him and for sharing his vision. And we are delighted and keen to join you in your journey to take ICT Marathwada forward. Further, I would like to thank Professor Deshmukh, our registrar, Professor Bhagwat, Dean Academic Programs, and the President of UA, Mr. Udhas, for joining us through video conferencing. I would like to thank Mr. Raikata, Sri Agarwalji, Mantriji, as well as Mr. Pangarkar for joining us in this change of guard ceremony. Further, I would like to thank our faculty members, dear colleagues, staff, as well as students for joining and well-wishers for joining us in this momentous occasion, and thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, may I now request you all to please join us for tea and snacks, which is arranged just outside the auditorium. Thank you.
सुनील आहे. सुनील, आपण आता वेगवेगळ्या चहा पिऊया.
मी तेच म्हणत लिहित होतो की विश आय कुड जॉईन फॉर टी टू.
केव्हा गेलास, केव्हा जालन्याला?
जालन्याला नाही, इकडे मुंबईत नाही, मी आता पाठवून.
आता मुंबईतला बोलतोस. हे तर तुझं ऑफिस रिमॉडेल केलंस का?
हो, खालचं रिमॉडेल केलं आता.
छान दिसतं एकदम.
थँक्यू. आता असं झालंय की रिमॉडेल झाल्यावरती माझा अर्ध्यापेक्षा जास्त वेळ वरती जातो लिहिण्याकडे. फंक्शन सुद्धा पहिलं अर्ध तिकडनं अटेंड केलं, मग खाली आलो.
बरोबर. आम्ही इथलं दादाचं घर घेतलं आणि डायरेक्टर झालं.
सुनील सर, नमस्ते. भाविया सर,
Namaste, madam. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you very much for all your support and help for the Jalna campus.
I heard the YouTube transmission is stopped now and Zoom is only.
Everybody.
Great,
Ma'am.
सरांचं लेक्चर सुंदर झालं सर.
हो, थँक्यू.
सुंदर, मला फार आवडला सर.
हो. आपण खूप दिवसात भेटलो नाही, आपण भेटूया एकदा.